Hi, I'm Elizabeth Mary Hancock.
And I'm Karen Lynn, the family angel.
And we are here to demonstrate the importance of communication. So particularly when you're communicating with children. So Karen's going to take me through an exercise which will demonstrate this. So
yes, I love this little exercise.
Yeah.
George Bernard Shaw said, the problem with communication is the assumption that it's taken place. And I think that happens a lot between parents and children.
Yes.
We assume, and not even just between parents and children actually, between adults, we assume that what we're saying to somebody else, the other person understands.
Yeah.
But it isn't always the case. So I have a great little exercise for you.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you literally to just draw what you think I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm going to be as clear as I can.
Okay.
But obviously I know what this looks like. So I'm not going to let you see this until you've finished. Okay, so first of all, I would like you to draw quite a large arch. That's it. And you're going to join the bottom of the arch with a straight line. But when you get to the middle of that straight line, you're going to just put a small arch in it. So you'll start at the left, draw a straight line across to the right, and put a little arch in the middle.
Oh, okay.
That's it. And then right in the middle of the big arch, put an S. Now, on top of the arch, the big arch, you're going to put a circle. But I want you to imagine that the circles just drop behind the arch a little bit. So, you know, like when the sun's just dropping down the horizon. Do you understand what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, got that? Now, if you imagine your circle as a clock, I want you to start about 2 o'clock. And you're going to draw a big, exaggerated curly 3, starting at 2 o'clock on the circle and ending up touching the big arch. Don't worry what it looks like.
Say it
again. You're going to start about 2 o'clock on your circle.
Yeah.
And you're going to draw a sort of big curly 3 so that it ends up on that big arch. So it starts on the circle and ends up on the big arch.
Right, okay.
All right. And then once you've done that, I want you to do the reflection of that on the other side of the circle. So exactly the same thing, but on the other side. Okay. We're nearly there. We are nearly there. I'm only giggling because I can see what you've drawn. Right, top of the circle, about 1 o'clock, I want you to draw 2 short parallel lines at about 45 degrees to the vertical. So top of the circle, 2 short parallel lines at about 45 degrees to the vertical.
Either side?
Yeah, no, parallel, so right next to each other.
I'm not very good on my...
Oh, sorry. See, that's the old... Well, that actually... But I'll come to that in a minute. And then put a little circle on the end of the parallel lines. Okay. Now, have you any idea what it looks like?
No.
Shall we share
an igloo? Some weird thing on top.
Okay. Well, maybe we should share.
Okay. I'm slightly embarrassed.
No, please don't be embarrassed, because actually if you'd have drawn it perfectly, this wouldn't have worked. That's what you drew. Okay. Oh. And this is what it should have looked like. A little elephant.
Oh, my goodness.
Now,
oh, wow.
There was a few things that came up in that. I explained that as well as I could.
Yeah.
I knew what it looked like, but also I used to teach maths. So I do tend to put in, and it's not that people don't know what parallel lines are, they are, but I do tend to put in mathematical comments because that's who I am. You know, that doesn't necessarily, that's a very typical example of how I might use something that you wouldn't necessarily understand. Now, the words parallel you do.
Parallel,
but it's just an example.
The angle got me, I'm afraid.
The angle, 45 degrees to the vertical, I said, didn't I? And then also the reflection. So, like, you know, the ears on this side, I just said reflect them on the other side.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah.
Now, you did sort of do that.
Yeah, when you said curly 3s, I kind of thought you meant a curly 3.
Well, I think because people have drawn that, I've said just a number 3 before, and then people didn't put it too sharp. So I said curly, meaning much more wavy. But exactly, this is an example of how the communication gets lost in its, transfer.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything wrong as such. I was explaining it as best I could. And you weren't doing anything wrong. You just heard it differently.
The thing I did notice about what I did wrong was that as soon as you said something, I was doing it. Like when you said put the circle behind, because I was so quick to draw it, I missed that, so I had to do it again. And that really made me think while I was doing it, gosh, I hear something and I go for it.
And often that happens. You don't hear the rest of the instruction, or you only hear half a story. You don't hear the rest of it, So if I was doing this with a family or with children, I would do it again, but I'd say, how could we improve it? And actually, we can improve it if I'd have allowed you to ask questions.
Right.
Because I didn't allow you to ask any questions. And if I was doing it as an exercise, I would say, first of all, you can ask questions that I can answer yes or no to. And then I'd do it a third time and say, okay, this time you can ask me anything you want. Okay. And you would find that the picture improves each time.
Brilliant.
So it is about, this is such a perfect little example of the fact that sometimes miscommunication is nobody's fault. But it's always good, especially when you're dealing with children, to just check that they've understood what you're trying to tell them, because often they've heard it differently than the way you've intended it. And then also the other way around. Just very quickly, I worked with a girl with Asperger's once, and I don't know whether you know a lot about Asperger's kids, but they can't control their tempers. So the rest of us would go 1 through to 10 on a scale of being angry.
Yeah.
Asperger's children tend to go 1, 4, 10.
Right.
So after 4, they're in trouble. After 4, they can't control what they're doing. And I'd worked a little bit with this girl, and every time she was having an argument with her mum, and she did lose the plot when she got to a 10, she would say, if you don't stop, I'm going to trash the place. Okay? Her mum took that as a threat. What she was saying was, if you don't stop, I can't control what I'm going to do. So actually what she's saying is, please stop. Now, it was a really simple comment, but once I realised that actually she was trying to say to her mum, I'm in trouble, I'm really getting so angry that I can't stop what I'm about to do. But her mum was getting angry because she thought it was a threat.
Yeah. And she was just saying, literally, what was going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So often we don't. So it's good the other way round as well, as a parent, to check that you have seriously understood what the child is or the teenager is trying to say to you. But I love the little exercise, and this goes down really well with families. Yeah. It's a great little game to play.
Yeah, I can imagine. No, it's great.
Even the teenagers love it.
But it is, it's a lot of fun. And I'm going to keep him, and I'm going to remind myself about communication. So I think we might have to put it on our kitchen wall or something to remind all of us. Yes.
Well, it's interesting
to
do
that
it
with my husband.
Yeah, so do it and get everybody to do it and see what different, see what different pictures you get.
Absolutely.
Because in a sense, it's funnier when it doesn't work, when they don't understand what you're saying.
That's great. Cool.
So you don't want to choose a picture that's too easy to explain. That's why I choose the elephant.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Karen.
That helped.
So I'm Elizabeth Mary Hancock, the Emotional Freedom Coach. Check out www.elizabethmaryhancock.com.
And I'm Karen Lynn, the Family Angel. So if you could check out www.karen-lynn.com.